Conan, what is best in life? To crush your enemies, see them driven before you, and to hear the lamentation of their women. That is good. That is good.
Hey, welcome to Wahoo Warrior. This is game one of 3 battles with the Bugeater Fantasy Team Championship in Omaha, Nebraska. I'm playing my Dwarves with my buddy Alan's Brettonians as my ally. We both had to make a 1,000 point legal list, and then we just kind of combine them together using the rules in the big rule book. My Dwarf general has highest leadership, so he's overlord. He doesn't provide any special bonuses, but there's some battle points related to that. So my list is 20 great weapon Dwarf warriors, and 2 units of thunders with shields, a cannon with the rune of accuracy and fire, and then I have a organ gun with a rune of accuracy, and a gyrocopter with no vanguard. From now on, I think I'll spend the 20 points on that. I could have used it, but my buddy Alan's got 2 units of Knights Errant, or not Knights Errant, Knights of the Realm, and then he's got a Paladin on horseback there with the Gromwell Greathelm. Oh, my general is a Thane, and he really only has a shield, a hand weapon, and then he also has the Silver Horn of something or other, and it's one of those relic items. And for dwarves, normally I don't think it would do very good, but what it does is all friendly units within 6 inches get devastating charge. So that basically makes the knight units two buses strong when it charges if they're within 6 inches at the beginning of our turn for the charging. And then he's got a damsel level 1 with a ruby ring and a dispel scroll, and a trebuchet, and 3 peg knights. So we were pretty confident. I think our glaring weakness is magic defense, but in 2 1,000 point separate armies, we're kind of hoping that we won't see a whole lot of magic. So let's get into the first battle. First battle is against Lizardmen and Warriors of Chaos combined. And here's our overall deployment. I'll go into it a little closer, but we're really just trying to keep both those knight buses within 6 inches of my general, so we can pop that silver horn and get the devastating charge. I got some thunders there, and organ gun and cannon. So we'll go with army list here. On the far left of our deployment, I got my thunders on that hill. Now my thunders, they're not going to be in range right away, but we're planning to pray to get the ward save for everybody, for the Brettonian players, and so we're not in any hurry. Got the cannon deployed way in the back, just to provide some cannon fire, some super accurate dwarf cannon fire. Excuse me. And then the peg knights are up there. They haven't vanguarded yet. And then we've got the Knights of the Realm with the Paladin, and the yellow bus has the banner of swiftness or whatever. It gives him +1 movement. The Paladin himself has the Gromwell Greathelm and a Worm Lance to give him a fire attack, and the Strength 3 breath weapon as well. I got my 20 dwarves there. We put the damsel in there. We thought about putting the prayer icon to give them a 5-up ward save, but we ended up going with the spell scroll, and we changed our list a few times, but so this is what we ended up with. And looking at all the other opponents there, it came pretty obvious that a lot of people were mobile and a lot of shooting. So my dwarf warriors, they're just there to hold the characters, but not a lot of there's some warriors here, but not a whole lot of combat unit blocks out there. So I brought them. But then there's the other Knights of the Realm and another unit of Thunders, and then my gyro copter back here. I didn't really know what to do with it right away. I didn't want to sacrifice it early on, and it does not have Vanguard, so I just put it deep in there, knowing we're going to give up turn 1, and then I'll just try to kind of come out and do what I can do with it. So yeah, I got my guys all painted up in time for the tournament. A couple little late nights right before the kickoff to get some basing done, but I think they turned out really well. I like the color scheme, and like the dwarves in general. So our opponent his name is JT, and great chick, and he is the Lizardman player. and he's a top-notch player. In fact, later on, he, like in the next 2 days, Saturday and Sunday, he won one of the top awards. And I went to Adepticon, and he was there. He's from the local Omaha area, and he placed, I think, 8th overall, so he knows what he's doing. And so he's got the Lizardmen, he's got some dogs, he's got skinks, he's got the Temple Guard there. He's got a guy on a horse attached to that Temple Guard. He's got a salamander back there, and he's got some skinks. Then there's the Warriors of Chaos, all blocked up there. Very killy combat unit. And then some more dogs, and then the Skull Crushers, and then he's got his the wizard guy who has his general is on that Juggernaut thing there, and he's attached to the Skull Crushers, so they're pretty killy. And then 10 more skinks over there. So lots of skirmishing chaff, junk, and a couple, the Temple Guard, the Warriors, and the Skull Crushers. So 3 big killy hitting units. So turn 1, we pray. Oh, then just there's a couple more skinks. Opponents super nice people, and the whole tournament in general. Just to say, if you've never been to Omaha or the Bugeater and their events, I strongly encourage you to take a trip. The hotel rooms are cheap. There's tons of things to do in Omaha. It's just a great event that goes to the local debate team at the school where they sponsor it, all the proceeds, and there's tons of door prizes and awards, more than anywhere I've ever been. So, all right, so looks like we're still in some deployment pictures here. As in all tournaments, I'm kind of picture happy right off the bat, and then as the games get intense, I start to slow down. But I think I did a pretty good job, especially on Friday, of capturing all the battles pretty good, because I had my partner to elbow me every now and then to say take a few pictures, so it helped out. So he gets turn 1 because we're praying. Temple Guard come moving up into or behind the woods there. Dogs are moving up. He's just coming at us with those guys. So these pictures are a little bit long here, but a lot of this tournament we're going to be doing a lot of hurry up and wait, waiting for the units to get to us. Yeah, those Skull Crushers are afraid of nothing. They just go full speed ahead and come right down to get in our face. And he's got some dogs there next to him. And that salamander, which, I forgot that little thing was there because he doesn't have the skinks with it. But yeah, he's sneaking up there with his little flame template breath weapon. I hate those things, especially when they're in groups of 3, 2 groups of 3. I hate them. So that's basically his whole movement. Looks like a dice on there. I don't think he didn't take any wounds for anything. I think he was just marking his movement range before he moved him up there. So yeah, so quick moving guys are getting up there quick. So then leaves us with a choice, try to make a long charge or just wait. And we decide to play cautiously, and we just kind of do a little bit of maneuvering. And shooting is, our best friend. So that's a very long charge for the Skull Crushers to make. I mean, they have a huge movement, but it's a long charge, and we don't really any part of that right now. So we're just going to try to shoot them up. And my cannon goes ahead and fires where he can get 2 going crossways, and I do that. I knock out 2 with cannonball right off the bat. So that unit just became much less dangerous. I moved my gyro. I'm not a big fan of throwing away a gyrocopter early on just because they're so valuable for running down fleeing stuff, and I really wanted to just use him to take out multiples of these skink hordes. But that unit, before I fired my cannonball, I was just so worried that if they got into the Brettonians that they would just win that combat, overrun this, the whole battle be over. So I like to waste my not waste it, but I like to sacrifice it to slow that unit down. Do some handgun shots on those dogs and only kill 2, and so they don't panic or anything. And the Peg Knights are over there. They vanguarded behind that tower, kind of facing to the right, and we don't really move them at all. I think he just changes them up a little bit so those dogs don't have a charge into them. And I don't know what this is a picture of. He did a wound. We did a wound to his character with a trebuchet rock, and it drifted, and it was only the strength. It wasn't a center hole. It was just a strength 5, and that guy's got a 1-up rerollable, and he still took a wound. So that was good. So 1 wound on his hero, and here he charges the copter as was expected, and it's going to die, but it's going to do its job, which is all we ask of our brave dwarves. And over on our left, the Temple Guard just come barreling through the woods. His guy fell over there, but he did not take a dangerous terrain check and die, as I was hoping, but he just happened to fall over when I snapped the picture. And the dogs move up. I think they're trying to, I don't know what they're doing exactly, how much they can do. Just trying to get in the way of my pistol, my handgunners maybe. Salamander comes up there, and Salamander throws out a flame template this turn and burns up a couple dwarves in my dwarf block. Nothing, maybe he was a little short. He only hit like 4. I think it's only strength 3, and so I think he killed 1 or 2, but could have been a lot worse if that template got all the way over. His dogs there move to chaff up some stuff, mainly my dwarf, my big block of dwarves, and those dogs tried to charge the organ gun, but I had moved my infantry up and angled them so they could not fit in there, and so he couldn't fit. So he ended up just moving up to give some cover from the organ gun. So I have to fire through them and also chaff up my infantry, but mainly to keep the organ gun from being able to just wail on these things. And that 30-inch range from that organ gun is awesome. I've already, I think, turn 1 shot up some. I think I shot some of the warriors. But anyway, on our turn, we declare the charge. I sound the horn, the silver horn, and the silver horn gives all the allied units a devastating charge for the turn that are within 6 inches. So these knights here, the yellow ones, have devastating charge. So it's almost like having the double-sized lance, like 20 guys there, and that's pretty awesome. The Peg Knights charge into the side just to make sure that we take care of this unit. We do not want to get in a grind with these Temple Guard. Over here, since those dogs are in the way, I charge the dogs, and then the Knights charge the Skull Crushers. But unfortunately, those dogs are a 1/16 of an inch too long. I mean, he positioned them perfectly for him. So all he can do is clip with those 3. He'll get the 3 knights on that side. Now the good news is that one's a champion, so he can only direct attacks on that one guy. So there's no challenge going on there, just the 3 attacks. So actually, he makes way with his lord on the thing there. Looks like his skinks, have been shooting a little bit at my guy there, but at my thunderers. But okay, so get that charge those dogs and clear them out, and I'll plan to reform to face those warriors. And that's that. So there's a big round right here, the big charges. So we are hoping for some damage, and the silver horn, is kind of a surprise to our opponent, but you know, he's still Temple Guard, and it takes a lot to kill them. And he's got a pretty killy combat character in there with a 1-up, I believe a 1-up 4-up. So that's after the charge. We killed a ton. Strength 5, we got Wistons up on that unit of knights, so they're strength 6. So they're hitting at strength 6 and their toughness 4 for the strikes back with a 2-up armor save, and against Temple Guard I think it's 6-up. I think it's strength 4, maybe strength 5. But yeah, we'll hardly lose any knights and do an ass ton of damage. And he pops them, and the peg knights pursue and chase them down and catch them. And our yellow knights reform to face into the middle. My dwarves obviously kill those dogs, and I just kind of stay facing like that. I want him to charge me. If he's going to charge me, and he's in the front. And I don't want to get in a dual charge, like where he kills the dwarves and then overruns into the side of the knights or something. And also, I didn't have a whole lot of options on reforming, so I just did it that way. Make him panic. If he tries to charge the knights and drops short, you know, that would maybe he'd leave himself an awkward flank for those knights and then the dwarves in the front or something. So I want him to take the closest of the targets there, and that's my dwarves. And he does do that, charges the dwarves, he makes it in there. His other guys reformed. I think we won that combat with the charge and the ranks, but he only was able to kill the champion and the banner, but he was able to reform with no problem. I don't think we even did a single wound to his lord. If we only had 2, 4, 6 attacks, 7 attacks, and I don't think we maybe did 1 wound to him. Yeah, so then after the combat, my dwarves get punked and they flee, but he does not catch me, thank goodness, and he's not touching the organ gun. So now our Brettonia knights are going to charge the flank of the Chaos Warriors. Our black knights there are getting pounded on, but you know, they've got their 2-up armor save, and it's keeping those strength 5s and stuff, and the ward saves, it's keeping them alive. They just need to hold for now. And so that's just another view of charges. My thunders are getting skink blasted to pieces. Just, you know, tons of poison shots going into them, and I got a 4-up armor save. But yeah, I mean, that's just a lot of blowpipes that are working away on them. So, but you know, I don't care about the thunders that much, other than I'm just trying to keep them away from the organ gun. The organ gun is going off on, and every time it shoots, it's like eliminating a unit of skinks or something. So it's harder to hit skinks than it used to be with the cover and all that. But still, I mean, you don't have to do very many wounds, and they usually panic and take off. There's the charge that's successful into the side. There's our knights valiantly fighting, and so we don't get Wistons up, but he's still able to break them, but he didn't catch them. So now they bounce on the other side of the organ gun because he didn't roll high enough to catch them, which is very unfortunate. Very unfortunate. My dwarves do rally though, so that's good. They're back in there, but I didn't face them. I faced them thinking that he might not break, and I want to see if I want to get him back into the guys if he reformed to face the knights. So he fled, but he didn't break. That's sad. And it looks like yeah, they rally. Boy, we missed a few pictures here, unfortunately. So they rally. The peg knights have been getting shot up, and there's only one guy left there. He's taking them off there. And they are flying around. Well, I missed a bunch of pictures, which is unfortunate, because they got really good there. Well, I apologize for that. Because here, what happens is, on his turn he rallies, and he kills the remaining 3 knights. So on our turn 5, my cannonball blows the head off of his lord and kills him. My Dwarf Thunderers, with one remaining guy, charge a unit of 10 skinks. He does no wounds to me. Well, actually, 2 guys. He's standing shot, killed one of them. The other one gets into combat, and he does 1 wound. So 1 wound in the charge. He did none to me, and I broke that unit of skinks and ran it down. And that guy is somewhere over there to the right, behind that tree. He's all by himself. So he was no longer frenzied, because we had won that first round of combat when we charged inside, and his guy panicked and fled from the lord dying, so he's fleeing away, and then he did not rally, so he ran again, and on turn 6 we hit him with a trebuchet rock and rolled a 1 to wound, and then I hit him with a cannonball, direct hit. And on the 2 wound, I needed 2 to eliminate that base. I only got 1. So he ends up, and we don't score the points for the Skull Crushers. The Warriors of Chaos killed the Hell Blaster there, but we are just reforming our stuff to get the heck away from him. Backing up my Dwarves, and I backed up my, we reformed our Knights to so he wouldn't be in a charge arc, and we could move away from him. And so yeah, so that's pretty much where we end the game, with a cannonball taking off his lord's head. We end up not being able to get that last Skull Crusher, which was, you know, a few more points. That would have been nice. And I would love to get these warriors too, but you know, that's just suicide. When we were ahead in points, basically, you know, the knights are still intact. His paladin, my warriors are still intact. Our wizard got killed, but she was cheap. I still have my Thane, and I have both units of my Thunderers, even though one only has 1 guy left in it, and I got my cannon. So we total it up, and we end up with a 14-6 victory. So we were pretty happy about that. We were getting a little greedy at the end there, but it was a 14-6 victory. It's better than a loss for your first game. Our teamwork was going pretty well. We were doing a lot of conferring and a lot of planning together, and we worked really well together. So yeah, we were happy to get a 14-6 win, and having that, we're going to take a lunch break, and then we head into game 2, and that will be a game against Wood Elves and something. Don't remember now. I'll have to go when I get to that. But so yeah, we had a great time, no great opponents, and thanks for watching, and stay tuned for another battle report coming up soon.